In the headlines, the Minister for Agriculture says no food shortage in Dominica as he plans to launch a 100% Dominica campaign. Haitians lose jobs as part of the economic impact of measures to minimize the spread of COVID-19 take effect. And a rise in the number of small businesses being shut down by COVID-19 response measures. I'm Andrea Louis with the Channel 5 News. Back with the details after this.
Avec Flow, gagnez l'argent, on partit l'argent avec Flow. Gagnez l'argent, on gros sac l'argent. C'est juste ça pour gagner un gros sac l'argent avec Flow. Animez on top up, sign up, quittez yo, et venez joindre Flow. It only gets better with Flow.
Flow terms and conditions apply.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Unlimited Flow local landline minutes mean you can talk and talk and talk. Plus the best in TV entertainment with over 120 channels and 29 in HD. All for $160 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
Si ou ni maladie HIV et bien maladie sexuelle, si ou pas protéger corps là ou kane sexe avec plusieurs monde, ça kay mette la vie ou en gros danger. Ou ka exposer tout partenaire au poison et que tant ki ka vini avec maladie. Servi yo condom chaque fois ou kane sexe. Changer qui est important pour découvrir maladie à bonheur ou ça vivre en bonne santé même si ou ni maladie HIV. Pour responsabilité, protéger corps et puis les autres. Examiner corps. Aider du bout si même maladie HIV et l'autre maladie sexuelle.
When you feel a sneeze or a cough coming, covering your mouth prevents the spread of germs. You probably knew that. But the way you cover up also matters, and that means breaking a habit you've held near and dear all your life. Cover your nose and mouth with your flexed elbow or a tissue, not your hands. Discard the used tissue immediately. Then wash your hands. Help stop the spread of germs. Remember, your health is your responsibility.
A message by the Health Promotion Unit of the Ministry of Health, Wellness and New Health Investment, Dominica.
Flow helps you stay connected to what matters. Simple plans and a better network mean that you can enjoy 7 days of unlimited social messaging, 3 gigabytes of reliable data to use as you like, 700 local anywhere calls and texts with the always-on prepaid plan, all for $29. Keep your number when you switch to Dominica's most reliable LTE network. Buy wherever you top up. Switch to Flow. It only gets better.
Away $40,000 in cash, 2 bags of money plus a grand every Friday.
We're flowing better every day, and now we're making Fridays great. That's 3 ways that you can play. So listen up.
Top up.
$10 more.
Sign up.
Just switch to Flow.
Get a plan.
1 gig or more. If you wanna win cash galore.
With Flow.
Win a bag of money.
Cash out.
Get a bag of money. What you gonna do with a bag of money? Yeah. From Flow.
So top up, get a plan, or switch now to win. It only gets better with Flow.
Flow terms and conditions apply.
Thank you for staying with us. First up, Dominica has recorded no new COVID-19 cases in the past 2 weeks. The total number of active cases in Dominica remained at 7 on Thursday. 9 have recovered, 0 COVID-19 related deaths. The total confirmed number of COVID-19 cases remains at 16. 378 individuals have been tested. The number of negative results is 362. 152 contacts have been identified, and the number of contacts cleared is 152. There are no contacts under investigation, and 15 individuals are currently in government quarantine.
As you may have realized, it's more than 2 weeks since our last COVID-19 case. Actually, on the 21st, gave it 2 weeks, and that's since our last case was reported. It is good news because it means we've completed a 2-week cycle, which is the expected time for the presentation of signs and symptoms of COVID-19. Having said this, I think we will all agree that by and large, the public has adhered to the measures and guidelines put forward by the Ministry of Health. You've recognized that your health is your responsibility, and I must say, though not easy at times, regarding our freedom of movement, you've risen to the occasion, you've sacrificed, and you've put your country first. And though we've been able to contain the spread of infection, which is a major aspect in managing the COVID-19 crisis, we must remain vigilant, focused, and determined that it remain this way.
In more top stories, a 100% Dominica campaign to be launched in just a few weeks' time. The Ministry of Agriculture will undertake this project in collaboration with the Ministry of Trade and the Ministry of Tourism.
This is in an effort to showcase our local products both locally and regionally. The Ministry of Agriculture, in collaboration with the Ministry of Trade, will be publishing a weekly price of fresh produce, meat and fish. This is in an effort to provide a guide to consumers and producers. The ministry has also revitalized its communications department and will be reaching out to farmers in this difficult time. We will be launching our social media platforms and to engage and sensitize especially the young and potential farmers during this time.
Currently under implementation is a food and nutrition security plan in response to the COVID-19 pandemic.
Over the recent weeks, key measures are being taken to include updating production data on acreage and the availability of food, crops to include crops and livestock, rapid assessment and verification of crops, establishment and farmers to supply food, and coordination of a community action plan to support backyard farming. The COVID-19 National Food and Security Mitigation and Response Plan will provide relief through the following activities. For commercial farmers, the implementation of a support program to establish an additional 200 acres of staple food products and vegetables. The provision of inputs to small scale and backyard farmers, to provide support to livestock farmers to stabilize cost of production. Provision of support to fisher folk to ensure a fresh supply of fish. The major expected outcomes from this initiative will include provision of a sustainable supply of fresh produce for local consumption and export, and providing assistance to agro-processors. The development and implementation of an agricultural produce pricing policy, a reduction in the food importation bill, and creation of short-term employment over the implementation period.
The minister says his ministry will continue to pursue the modernization of production and processing through the use of technology. In related news, the Minister for Agriculture says the perception of a food shortage in Dominica is not warranted at this time. The minister has reassured the nation that government's efforts to maintain food security are yielding results. He says just this week, over 1,000 pounds of fresh fish were exported to neighboring islands. He says the National Abattoir continues to provide support to the pig and poultry farmers.
Fresh local chicken and pork is available at the abattoir. Forecasted data thus far has suggested that the next 6 months, that is the period from April to September 2020, marketable yields for key products will include Banana, an estimated yield of 2,488,810 pounds. Dasheen, 4,168,505 pounds. Plantain, 2,613,032 pounds. Sweet potato, 456,000 pounds. Tanya, 1,882,425 pounds. Yams, 1,711,710 pounds. This gives a grand total of 19,556,403 pounds of produce, which will be primarily root crops, which will be available for local consumption and export over the next 6 months.
A series of severe ripple effects from the economic impact of COVID-19. A leader of the Dominica Freedom Party says the global pandemic makes it difficult for Dominicans overseas to provide financial assistance to their families and friends living in the country.
With regards to remittances to Dominica, which provides a significant area of support in terms of the livelihoods of many persons, there's likely to be a fall. Many Dominicans who work overseas will have reduced incomes, and some will lose their jobs as the global recession deepens. Others will suffer losses in the value of their investments in the wake of stock market declines. While Dominicans living overseas are loyal to their families in Dominica, they may have to adjust, and that could include sending home less remittances.
The DFP leader foresees the economic climate as a result of the COVID-19 lockdown as having severe negative social effects.
The overall economic situation could also have adverse social impacts. It could certainly impact citizen security if there is increased crime as persons seek to cope with the stressful economic situation. Beyond citizen security, poverty will deepen. There could be increased abuse of alcohol and illegal drugs, and an overall deterioration in nutrition, health, and healthcare could ensue.
The Dominica Freedom Party is suggesting steps which can be taken to help Dominica rebound from the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Our country could indeed fall apart, but the Dominica Freedom Party hopes that it does not come to that. For this not to be the outcome, though, a number of strategies must be contemplated. It would be desirable for there to be prepared a meaningful rapid relief package and an economic stimulus package to address the immediate social impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on the people and to awaken an economy that was already weak.
A plea for assistance from the Haitian community. Julian Morris has that story.
The call from Xavier Etienne, a pastor who works closely with the Haitian community in Dominica. Thousands of Haitians reside here and are employed in a wide variety of jobs. Pastor Etienne says the restrictions which came into play as a result of the country's response to COVID-19 have left a large number of Haitians unemployed and at home.
For the COVID-19, they stay at home. Some of them get something to do, like a farmer, but for other things, construction or other thing they're doing, they stay at home. Only some of them doing security, but they work. But the problem I have now, they calling me, and sometimes they calling me and tell me, Pastor, we don't have, you understand? Some of them can get some Dasheen if they're doing farmer, but some of them don't have nothing. Imagine the person have to pay rent of the business, they have to pay rent where you live in, you understand? And you have to buy food and things, but I have to pay bill because we still pay it. But all that, but they don't know. But like me, we pray in God.
The Haitian community is well known for its contribution to farming, vending, security and tailoring. The limited or lack of employment has been very rough for those who do not have family in Dominica.
The Haitian people like to work, and the second thing, when they don't have family or they don't know where they can get $5 to buy something, they trying to do what they can to look for life with the product. They come in the week, sometimes they stay in the road, and selling. But 2 o'clock, everybody go at home. But I encourage them, at 2 o'clock, everything closed, they have to go at home. For the barber, all the barber shop closing, but they cannot open. But I understand that, because imagine to cut, the person have to be close to the. I understand the government in that thing, but they stay at home. They don't do nothing. But the problem, some of them talk to me, they have to pay rent. Imagine the place where they are, they have to pay rent, they have to do things, but nothing they can do. They're waiting for.
On the topic of home education for children, this too is proving difficult for some. While not outlining exactly what type of assistance is needed, Pastor Xavier says any help given will be appreciated.
I know some of them, some ladies, because I know some ladies like St. Joseph Rose also, they have children, but they cannot go anywhere. I know one lady, she have 3 children, but I asked her, how are you doing now? For classroom, what your children doing? She tell me she don't have a laptop, she don't have a tablet, the phone don't have capacity, but the children stay at home, but they cannot do nothing. For now, plenty of Haitians have what I can say. You know, sometimes they need some help, but they need, that I can say. You understand? Not if they can, if they get, they take, but they need.
You are watching the Channel 5 News. Stay tuned for more after the break.
With Flow, when I bag our money, cash out, get a bag of money. What you gonna do with a bag of money? Yeah. From Flow.
Yo, check this. Flow is giving away $30,000 in cash.
Oh, yeah.
2 bags of money plus $1,000 every Friday.
With Flow is better every day, and now we're making parties great. That's 3 ways that you can play. So listen up.
Top up.
$10 more.
Sign up.
Just switch to Flow.
Get a plan.
1 gig or more. If you wanna win cash galore.
With Flow.
Win a bag of money.
Cash out.
Get a bag of money. What you gonna do with a bag of money? Yeah. From Flow.
So top up, get a plan, or switch now to win. It only gets better with Flow.
Flow terms and conditions apply.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Unlimited Flow local landline minutes mean you can talk and talk and talk. Plus the best in TV entertainment with over 120 channels and 29 in HD. All for $160 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
When you feel a sneeze or a cough coming, covering your mouth prevents the spread of germs. You probably knew that. But the way you cover up also matters, and that means breaking a habit you've held near and dear all your life. Cover your nose and mouth with your flexed elbow or a tissue, not your hands. Discard the used tissue immediately. Then wash your hands. Help stop the spread of germs. Remember, your health is your responsibility.
A message by the Health Promotion Unit of the Ministry of Health, Wellness and New Health Investment, Dominica.
Avec Flow, gagnez l'argent, on partage l'argent avec Flow. Gagnez l'argent, on gros sac l'argent. C'est juste ça pour gagner un gros sac l'argent avec Flow. Allez, mettez on top up, sign up, quittez yo, et venez joindre Flow. It only gets better with Flow.
Flow terms and conditions apply.
Les moun qui ni TB estene et ben toussé, moun qui en bonne santé oli ouin ka respire se vermine là. Moun qui pa ni bon tempérament, kon sa ki ni maladie HIV, alcool, ka fumé, ti mamay et grand moun bien sensible pour ces maladies ça là. Moun qui ka toussé ni pour prendre précaution les yo en parmi moun en place publique. Couvert bouche ou le ka estene et toussé. Visitez docteur et ben place santé. Fini tout traitement yo ba ou sa joine guérison et puis maladie TB. En responsabilité ou aider du bout de sime maladie TB et HIV. Protéger corps et les autres.
Flow helps you stay connected to what matters. Simple plans and a better network mean that you can enjoy 7 days of unlimited social messaging, 3 gigabytes of reliable data to use as you like, 700 local anywhere calls and texts with the always-on prepaid plan, all for $29. Keep your number when you switch to Dominica's most reliable LTE network. Buy wherever you top up. Switch to Flow. It only gets better.
Welcome back. An increasing number of small businesses closing their doors as the COVID-19 response measures in Dominica continue. Julian Morris explains.
The National Development Foundation of Dominica, NDFD, plays an integral role in helping individuals start up small and medium-sized businesses. Director of the NDFD says while the institution is discussing ways to assist clients, data is still being collected from those who can no longer run their operations as normal.
You have the other non-essential, quote-unquote, like barber shops and hairdressers and home decor businesses and, all the other businesses of that sort, which are not really required by the average person to survive, that have had to shut down. So we understand that they are not generating any revenue or at the moment, so this would have impacted their ability to pay, to meet their daily commitments and their obligations to us.
The NDFD is currently supporting close to 2,500 businesses, and apart from loss of revenue, owners have a variety of concerns.
Sometimes clients operate from a rented premises where they have rent to pay. In addition to that, other operational expenses remain: the rent, the utilities, water, electricity, internet, those types of things. And while they may be able to get a deferment, but they do not get waivers for these. So it's an accrued, accumulated expense that remains there. And they are saying, look, I'm not sure what level of sales and revenue that I'm going to have when we start back, if it is going to start back with a bang or if it's going to be just a slow takeoff.
Joseph believes the COVID-19 pandemic provides an opportunity for Dominicans to show creativity in terms of income generation.
I advise clients that during the period you have more time to think. So while you're not operating, you can think of how you can restructure your business to be able to, one, maybe attract more clientele, or even some of the things that you have put in place right now, how you can extend it again to your clients and hence bring in more value to your business. One of the things that we as NDFD encourage is the issue of innovation. But we know, because we understand that innovation is innovation. It is very uncertain. You may need several prototypes before you eventually are successful. So that is part of the overall process. But I would expect that persons are into just trying to figure out what is it that I could come up with.
The Ministry of Education is taking steps to ensure no child is left behind during the COVID-19 pandemic. The ministry has directed teachers to report to school on specific days to prepare work for students and to have the school open so teachers can use internet where available. Where there is no internet access, teachers are using activity packs for their students.
The other option for work for students is activity sheets. Where no internet exists, where students have no devices, arrangements will be made by schools for parents, I repeat, parents, to pick up their children's work packets. The children will complete their work at home and the parents will return them for assessment. Principals have full access to information about the numbers of teachers and students accessing online learning, and so they are in a position to manage the reporting of teachers to schools as necessary. The objective is not to put any of our teachers or principals at risk, and principals are reminded to adhere to social distancing measures. No more than 10 teachers should be at school at any one time, and teachers should wear masks when reporting to school.
The minister has commended several schools for their effective management of the process, making schools available to parents and internet facilities available to teachers and students without access within their communities. Currently, 6 primary schools do not have internet access.
I must mention the principal of Penville Primary, Ms. Solange Basil, and her staff for the effort they are making to facilitate the students from Penville who attend the PSS. And the principal of the Saint-Sauveur Primary School, Mrs. Merlin Roll, and her staff for the effort they are making to accommodate the Cassibril Secondary students who live in Saint-Sauveur. The Ministry of Education has made its printing services available to all schools upon request for printing activity packs. Other instruction is going on online, mainly via Google Classroom. The Google platform is in place, equipped with Zoom with capacity up to 100 participants. More than 14,000 education.gov.dm email addresses have been activated, and more than 800 teachers of our 1,021 teachers access the platform.
Internet access is available at all secondary schools. And the COVID-19 pandemic has forced governments around the world to implement measures which include having citizens stay at home and in some cases work from home. Right here at home, families are spending much more time together thanks to the curfew imposed to minimize the spread of the coronavirus. But spending so much time together may be awkward for those who have not been adhering to certain church teachings pertaining to family life. One Catholic priest says this could be an opportunity for introspection.
Could this time in be a time out? If that is the case, then it is not a time to be depressed. It is time to get to work. What are our weaknesses? What should we be doing to improve life at home? Are we really investing the time and effort that we should in our children? Am I as involved with my child's education and training as I should be? Husbands and wives, parents and children, if this is a time out, then it is not a time to sulk. It is a time to strategize. St. Paul in Ephesians 5 says, husbands, love your wives as you love your own body. Husbands, now is the time to take a hard look at that question and ask, do I love my wife as I love my own body? Wives, respect your husbands. Have I been doing that? If we have not been doing those things, how can we begin to do that now? This is a time for honest conversation.
Father John says this could also be a time to explore ways of becoming more self-sufficient in the context of food security.
We were taught self-sufficiency long ago. We grew up with this, but we have moved away from this as a nation. Now we are being encouraged to return to growing our own food. Now is the time to begin if you have stopped. Why? Because we do not know how long this will last. And we are blessed to live in a land that can sustain its people if we work hard. We have water, fresh water, clean air, fertile soil. We can do this. And we must, because food security is extremely important. We have to eat. We could go on ad infinitum about the opportunities this moment affords us. The point is, this is a time of opportunity. Crisis is a time of opportunity. Not so much what I cannot do, but what can I do differently? How creative can I be? In essence, the doors of creativity have been thrown open, and we now have a chance to go crazy, creative crazy. Think outside the box.
Avec flow, gagner l'argent, on partit l'argent avec flow. Gagner l'argent, on gros sac l'argent. C'est juste ça pour gagner un gros sac l'argent avec flow. Animez on top up, sign up, quittez yo, et venez joindre flow. It only gets better with flow.
Flow terms and conditions apply.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Unlimited Flow local landline minutes mean you can talk and talk and talk. Plus the best in TV entertainment with over 120 channels and 29 in HD. All for $160 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
Si Si ou ni maladi HIV e bien maladi seksuel, si ou pa proteje kor lò ou kane seks ek plizye moun, sa ka mette la vi ou a gwo danger. Ou ka expose tout patna ou pweze e ke taki ka vini ek maladi ya. Seve yo kondom chak fwa ou kane seks. Chanje ki, y important pou dekouve maladi ya bonè, ou sa vive a bon soti, même si ou ni maladi HIV. Pren responsabilité, protéger corps et puis les autres. Examiner corps. Aider du bout si même maladie HIV et l'autre maladie sexuelle.
When you feel a sneeze or a cough coming, covering your mouth prevents the spread of germs. You probably knew that. But the way you cover up also matters, and that means breaking a habit you've held near and dear all your life. Cover your nose and mouth with your flexed elbow or a tissue, not your hands. Discard the used tissue immediately. Then wash your hands. Help stop the spread of germs. Remember, your health is your responsibility.
A message by the Health Promotion Unit of the Ministry of Health, Wellness and New Health Investment, Dominica.
Helps you stay connected to what matters. Simple plans and a better network mean that you can enjoy 7 days of unlimited social messaging, 3 gigabytes of reliable data to use as you like, 700 local anywhere calls and texts with the always-on prepaid plan, all for $29. Keep your number when you switch to Dominica's most reliable LTE network. Buy wherever you top up. Switch to Flow. It only gets better.
Away $40,000 in cash, 2 bags of money plus a grand every Friday.
We're flowing better every day, and now we're making Fridays great. That's 3 ways that you can play. So listen up.
Top up.
$10 or more.
Sign up.
Just switch to Flow.
Get a plan.
1 gig or more. If you want to win cash galore.
We flow.
Win a bag of money.
Cash out.
Get a bag of money. What you gonna do with a bag of money? From Flow.
So top up, get a plan, or switch now to win. It only gets better with Flow.
Flow terms and conditions apply.
To end the news, the headlines again. The Minister for Agriculture says there is no food shortage in Dominica as he plans to launch a 100% Dominica campaign. Haitians lose jobs as part of the economic impact of measures to minimize the spread of COVID-19 take effect. And a rise in a number of small businesses being shut down by COVID-19 response measures. Feel free to access our past newscasts on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Andrea Louis. And to all of our viewers around the world, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful weekend.